Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys I'm going to be profiling for you my Lightsworn deck. Now, I know a lot of people out there do not like Lightsworns, and I know a lot of people feel that the deck is not going to go anywhere is because of the fact that Saint Minerva is the now YCS prize card for the next year, I guess you could say. And we don't know when it's going to get the reprint. It may take years for the Saint Minerva to be reprinted so we can play it actually in a Lightsworn type of deck instead of it being like probably a couple $100 prize card. Plus the fact of the matter is that after the Dragon Rulers got hit a couple of months ago, the deck wasn't as powerful, even though that charge of the Light Brigade did go back to 2. It did help the deck, but I would still say that when Dragon Rulers were legal with Lightsworns, it made Lightsworns the best they've been in a long time, probably, I guess you could say. It was more precise milling. You could search out JD. It just made the deck a little bit better. But overall, still, I've always liked the deck, even though it's been it's not as powerful as it once was to some degree, even though I know JD is an amazing card. Nuking the field for 1,000 is pretty dang good in my book. But I still like playing with the deck for fun because I like the aspect that it is kind of a luck-based deck, and it kind of reminds me of like playing like in Yu-Gi-Oh! In general. Sometimes you draw good, sometimes you draw very bad. Just same with Lightsworn. Sometimes you mill very good, sometimes you mill very bad. It just all depends. So without further ado, guys, let us get started on today's profile. So first off, we have our 3 Judgment Dragon. Definitely run your 3 Judgment Dragon. It's your main boss monster of the deck. Though you do run things like BLS because this is more of a chaos version, I guess you could say, of Light Swarms. I guess you could say it's more like Twilight Swarms, like the old days. But your 3 Judgment Dragon, staple. Next we run our 3 Lumina, definitely staple in the deck, works well off of Raiden, can help you go for synchro plays and whatnot, help swarm the field, mill. Very, very powerful card. The main thing I use her for is for going in for synchro plays and discarding dead light swarms out of my hand, like Wolf or, what's the other one called? I forget off the top of my head. I either discard Wolf sometimes, your Necrogarnas, your Shaddoll Dragons, or I just whatever I have in hand that I just want to pitch. I usually pitch it with Lumina to get her effect off. Then we run our 3 Raiden. I would have said if the Dragon Rulers were still a thing that you only needed 2 Raiden, but now that the Dragon Rulers are gone, you definitely need 3 Raiden in the deck. Very powerful, very good card. I would honestly say probably next to JD, it's probably the best card in the deck right now. As of right now, that is. Because it's a tuner, it's a level 4 tuner, helps you go for plays, it mills very well, it's a 17 beat stick. I mean, it's a pretty good card in its own right. Then you run your 2 Lyra, Laura, I guess you could say, Lyra, Lyra, I've heard her say pronounced both ways. But she's pretty much your MST for the deck, helps milling, etc. Then you run your Light Swarms pretty much. You run your 1 Jane, your 1 Garoth, I run the 1 Felice, and 1 Wolf, 1 Aaron, and then 1 Minerva. So let me explain some of this, because looking over other players and how they're playing Light Swarms right now, there's different variations. Some people are still trying to play the Collapsed Serpents, the little mini Chaos Dragons in the deck, so they can get off their mills with the Eclipse Wyvern, so they can search out JD still. Other people are just playing pure Light Swarms, and some other people out there are playing Chaos Swarms like I am doing. But the reason why I'm playing more of the names, which you pretty much play these Light Swarms for their names so you can get JD off, is the fact of the matter is I find that the more Light Swarms I play in the names, the more likelihood that JD is going to be live a lot more faster. So I run a lot of the 1-ofs. Jane, definitely staple. Garoth, definitely staple. Felice, definitely staple. Wolf I put back in the deck because it's kind of nice to mill the Wolf. You special summon it. You can go off plays with it, or you can pitch it with Solar Recharge or whatever to do what your things. To just pitch it, draw 2 cards, whatever. Aaron, I still like Aaron. It's still a good name. It's still a good decent card. And Minerva, a lot of people have cut Minerva because they feel like, well, first off, you never use its effect to search for Judgment Dragon. Never, ever have I used her effect. But She's good for a name, and she's good for a level 3 tuner, which can help go for certain synchro plays, like level 8 sometimes, or it just depends upon the situation. She can be useful. Sometimes I use her to go for like a Goyo Guardian or something, which is nice. So as a name, as useful, and her mill effect has come in handy sometimes for setting up plays. So I do like her as a 1-of still. So those are all the 1-of Lightsworms. Then on, I guess you could say the Chaos version of the deck somewhat. The Dark version, we run our 3 Necrogardna. Some people like Rainbow Karibo, some people like Necrogardna. I personally feel like Necrogardna is much better than Rainbow Karibo. You can pitch it, with an effect, and for Lyra, getting my names mixed up today. I apologize. For your Lumina, you can pitch it with Lumina, get it in the graveyard. It can protect you. I just like it in general. It can also be used with BLS if you got 2 of them in the graveyard. You're only going to be using 1, or it can be used as like stopping a battle attack. So I do like it. Then we run 3 Shaddoll Dragon. I was thinking of running either 2 Shaddoll Dragon or 3 Shaddoll Dragon. So I will admit that 2 or 3. I was debating, and I'm still debating to this time actually how many to run. But for right now, I'm just running 3. It's good as a 19 beat stick. It's good for an effect because you can pop back row, which is nice. It's another way of getting, popping your back row and making way for your Judgment Dragon. So when Judgment Dragon hits the field, you're definitely going to get the effect off, and you're definitely going to keep that Judgment Dragon on the field. So I do like this as a 3-of. And plus, it's good anytime you get a Dark Engrave, it helps set up your BLS or Chaos Sorcerer. Then you run your 3 Gores. I'm going to say this right now. People have kept telling me, oh, Gores is no longer good. Gores is not a good card at all. I can't tell you how many times Gores has actually won me the game with this Lightsworn build. You either mill it off and it becomes chaos fodder, or you get it in hand and you can Gores them very easily. So even if you were going to take damage that turn, you can drop a Gores on them. So I definitely like the 3 Gores. I wouldn't change anything about it. In the Chaos version, I would definitely say run your 3 Gores, because Gores is just amazing in this type of build. Then we run your 2 Honest. Definitely a staple. Some people think, oh, you don't need to run Honest and Lightsworms, but when half of your deck is freaking light, and a lot of the monsters in your extra deck are light, definitely got to run 2 Honest. No doubt about that. Then you run for your Chaos Engine, 1 Chaos Sorcerer, 1 BLS. I'm hoping Chaos Emperor Dragon gets the errata over here in the TCG eventually, because I'll change this to Chaos Dragon. Chaos Emperor Dragon, by the way. So I would probably in the future run this as Chaos Envoy at the beginning and Chaos Emperor Dragon. But for right now, I'm just running Chaos Sorcerer and 1 BLS. I mean, you could run other stuff, but I just like the Chaos Engine a little bit better because it's more power plays. And it's more fun. Then we run your triple Solar Recharge, I guess you could say. Definitely, I would argue that Solar Recharge is probably one of the best draw cards in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! You could argue, actually. But definitely a very powerful card. So your 3 Solar Recharge. Then we run our 2 Charge of the Light Brigade. Every time I think of this, I think of the old Charge of the Light Brigade. The song, the story about the Charge of the Light Brigade, the British Cavalry. So yes, I actually think of that every time I play this card. That's the history person in me coming out, I guess you could say. But 2 Charge of the Light Brigade. It's nice to have this card back at 2-of. Helps the deck out, helps search for your cards and whatnot, helps mill the deck, helps make it faster. So definitely 2 Charge. It may go to 3 one day. And then for your 1-of spells, we run 1 Monster Reincarnation. Very, very underrated card. Very good in this deck. Grab back a BLS, grab back a JD, whatever. Pitch a dead card in your hand. 1 Foolish Burial. It's good for setting up for another name or whatever. 1 Soul Charge. Still a good card in the deck. 1 Dark Hole for clearing the board. It's still good. I do like it. 1 Regeki. Also, by the way, sometimes what I've done with Dark Hole, if I do have it in hand and I also have a Gores, is I'll Dark Hole the board if they've got like 2 or 3 monsters on board, and then I'll drop the Gores, because they'll just try to poke for me for something, and then I drop the Gores that way. That way I'm not taking that much damage, is what I'm trying to say. So it's very nice. I don't run any traps in the deck, but it is very nice to, you know, run. I mean, I don't want to make their MSTs live, is what I'm saying. I used to run back in the day, I used to run Kree Bandits, the Needle Ceilings and everything, but that was back when Dragon Rulers were a thing in the deck. Now I don't like running any traps. You could run Breakthrough Skill or Skill Prisoner, but that's personally really up to you at the end of the day. But I feel by setting those cards, you're making your opponent's MSTs live. And their MSTs live, and you don't want to make their MSTs live because that's, when you're playing Light Swarms, that's kind of like, that's a card you don't have to worry about that much to play around with. Another card that people are going to probably say, why are you not running in the main deck as well, is Galaxy Cyclone. And I know a lot of people say, well, why are you not running Galaxy Cyclone in the deck? Well, first off, it's an expensive card, and I honestly don't want to pay the money to get Galaxy Cyclone. And second off, I find that by playing, you know, Lyras and Shaddoll Dragons and whatnot, I really don't have to worry about Galaxy Cyclone as much. I'd rather play other cards than Galaxy Cyclone. Just saying, guys, just saying. But that's just personal preference there, I guess you could say. Because with the Shaddoll Dragons and the Lyras, back row is easily popped. So back onto target here. Now we got our 2 Michael the Lightsworn Archangel. Very easy to make this with Raiden and Lumina. So very good card. It's your boss monster, I guess you could say, of the deck. Who doesn't want to freaking ride a Judgment Dragon with a sword? Come on, the artwork's amazing. Next we have your Goyo Guardian, your Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, very good card. Plus the fact that this is a light attribute works well with Honest. Next we have the Black Rose Dragon. We have Clear Wing Synchro Dragon, and those are for your level 7s, and this is your level 6. Then we run our starter Spark Dragon. This can help protect monsters on field. Plus, it's a light attribute. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend, very good card. Leo and Star Eater. You may ask yourself, well, how do you make Leo and Star Eater really? Gores. So sometimes what you'll do is you'll go drop the Gores. Excuse me, and then sometimes you can make Leo and Star Eater with the Gores on the field because Gores is a level 7. And so, in a way, because Gores is level 7 and Dragon Rulers were level 7, you can still go for your big synchro plays with like your Leo and your Star Eater. So, very nice to have. Then we run for your, I guess you could say your rank 4 exceeds because you do run a good amount of rank 4s. Your Castel the Sky Musketeer, your 101 Silent Arc Arner's Knight, your Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon, your Kurganic Illuminescent Knight, and just some more nuking Evil Swarm Exciton Knight for just extra nuking of the board, I guess you could say. So that is the extra deck, guys. I know this video is a lot quicker than my normal deck profiles. Usually those take about 18 minutes because I'm really in depth, but Light Swarms are pretty much straightforward. There's different ways you can play the deck. Like I said, I prefer playing the Chaos version for more fun shenanigans, and I find it's the best version as of right now. I'm hoping the other Light Swarm stuff does come out over here to the TCG eventually, even though I'm disappointed, like I said before, that Saint Minerva is actually a prize card, but whatever. Like I said, also, you can try Galaxy Cyclone in the deck, but with Shaddoll Dragon running it as a 3-of, your Lyras, you really don't need to run it, and I would rather run other spell cards or other Light Swarm monsters as their name. Other things you may want to try out is maybe try to run maybe another level 6 Synchro monster so you can get Minerva's effect off to Synchro summon some more. And those are just my thoughts on the deck. The deck is still very fun to play, don't get me wrong. I mean, it is Light Swarm. It is a powerful deck. But it just all depends upon the luck of the mill, I guess you could say. Some duels you do great. Some duels you do awful. I think it'll be interesting if ever Honest goes back to 3 and Charge goes back to 3 and the deck's at full power like it was back in the day when I played against it the first time, and freaking ridiculous how powerful it was back then. But it'll be interesting to see how good the deck is after that. But for right now, I feel it's still a fun, good deck. Solid, good deck. So, yep, that's just my thoughts on it, guys. But till next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling, and I'll see all of you guys next time. Seto Kaba, I'm out for you the next time. Good luck dueling to all of you.